Did you know that a study conducted by Oracle revealed that over 75% of people feel stuck in their jobs and don't see a clear path forward in their careers? Are you one of them? In this episode, we're going to dive into the difference between working a job and building a career. And most importantly, how you can make that shift to unlock your full potential. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Transparent HR Podcast, where we aim to empower individuals with transparent HR insight, fostering career opportunities, and navigating workplace success for all. I'm your host, Prince Tate, and I am super excited that you are listening to the 5th episode of the Transparent HR Podcast. Look, I'm always excited that you are tuning in and listening to our episodes. Don't forget to like, share with a friend, and subscribe to get all of the notifications of our upcoming episodes so you can listen to them. Again, this really helps us out to bring awareness to others who really need HR insight for their careers. We want you to know that if you have a career or workplace questions, feel free to submit them by clicking the link within the description below. Or guess what? You can send us a text with any questions or feedback that you like to share. We want to hear from you. So go ahead and click that link. Go ahead and send us that text message, okay? Also, if you feel that you can add value to people's lives and you like to be a guest on the show, you can also look within the description below that says be a guest. Fill out that link and we will love to have a conversation with you to see how we can have some great conversations on this podcast. So we have some super exciting news that I want to share on this podcast. Back in 2021, I received the Human Resources Emerging Leader Award that was proudly presented by SHRM Memphis. Back in 2021, I had just became an HR manager and just really making strides in my HR career. Not only that, I'm working with SHRM Memphis on the board to create a space for young HR professionals, emerging leaders like myself, to have a network and to have a group of people who are like-minded, where we continue to grow and develop with each other. But I'm not here for that. I am super and just beyond honored to share that I received the HR Excellence Awards. Yes, as a young professional, being recognized among such incredible leaders in the HR community is truly humbling and deeply motivating. This award was presented to me at the Tennessee SHRM Conference on August 27, 2024. And it says, the 2024 Human Resources Management Excellence Award presented to Daniel Prince Tate. Y'all, this was just such an honorable moment for me. This award reflects not only just individual success, but also the power of dedication to service, whether serving in my local chapter, HR chapter, HR profession, even in our community. It's a testament to the impact we can have when we pursue our passion and lift others along the way. I couldn't have received this award without many sacrifices from my family, especially my wife, but a special thanks to the SHRM Memphis Emerging Leaders Group, Danielle, Tayana Childress-Pointer, Melody, Amanda, Amber, and so many more young professionals who have been with me through this journey. And of course, all of my HR family and friends who have pushed me to become a better HR practitioner. Your support means the world to me, and I appreciate it each and every day. To everyone striving to grow in their career, I want to encourage you to keep pushing and keep moving forward. No matter where you are in your journey, your dedication and hard work will pave the way for your own incredible milestones. Let this be a reminder that you too can achieve greatness in your profession. It doesn't matter what profession you are in. You can be in HR, but you can be a teacher. You can be in higher education. You could be a police officer. No matter what profession you're in, you can strive to be great and to achieve greatness in your career. Stay tuned for more insights on how to build a fulfilling career on the Transparent HR podcast. So I want to share and go into our career quote today. It reads, "The expert in anything was once a beginner" by Helen Hayes. Remember, every expert started somewhere and they reached their level of proficiency through perseverance and a willingness to learn. This quote is so powerful. It's a powerful reminder that it's okay to be a beginner. I had to start somewhere. You had to start somewhere. Everyone had to start somewhere in order to create a path of success that really makes an impact, not just on them, but to everyone that's around them. I want to say, embrace your starting point with pride because it is the first step towards becoming an expert in your field. So embrace your starting point. Today, we're diving into the difference between working a job and building a career. And most importantly, how you can make that shift to unlock your full potential. So let's dive into this conversation. It's just me today. But I really believe in having this conversation because, again, as the career quote stated, everyone has a starting point. And so I want to talk about and dive into this conversation to help someone. Maybe you're in a job, maybe you've been working for decades. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to get into a career. Maybe you are trying to figure out maybe this job that I'm in is not fulfilling. Or maybe I'm in a career that has now become a job because I don't find any passion in it. So I want to define the difference between a job versus a career. When I look at a job, I look at it as it being a short term focus, primarily about earning money and surviving. And the reason why I say surviving is because when I was in college, my father passed away my first year in college, and I literally had to figure out how to survive. Not survive on the level of living with my parents, but trying to survive to literally make it, to live, to see another day. And so I had to figure out what would be my focus. Um, and believe it or not, during that time frame, I had several jobs. I had at least 3 jobs minimum at one time where I worked at the university, I worked at my primary part time job, as well as another job just so I can make money so I can survive. When I think about characteristics of a job, it's limited personal growth. It's often routine tasks, as well as little achievement to long term goals. Again, it's those short term aspects that is going to help you get money in the door and to help you to survive. But why do you just want to survive? A job can serve as a purpose like providing stability or even experience, but it's not the end game. If I'm in a job that's not providing continual growth, that's only providing stability and money at this moment, I want you to tell yourself this is not the end game. If you're looking to get into a career, I want you to say this is not the end game. So when I look at a career, it's more so long term, driven by personal growth, passion, as well as purpose. And I talked a little bit about this in my first episode. I want you to go check it out. That talked about, a little bit into how I got into my career. I wanted to make sure that I found something that I was able to receive not just personal growth, but professional growth as well. And it was something that I was passionate about. When I look at a career, I like to say, you want to know your why. You want to know, why are you working that job, and why are you getting into that career? Characteristics that I think of is personal development. It aligns with your goals and values, providing fulfillment as well as advancement opportunities. And when we talk about advancement opportunities in a job, there are advancements opportunities, and I believe that a lot of organizations do well at creating what we call career pathing, that if you may come in and work for an organization and you may start at working in a job, but if you're serious about growth and opportunities, you can make that job and make it into a career, which we call, again, career pathing, which will identify uh, growth levels where you can continue to grow within that organization or within that specific field. Example that I think of is, you want to think about a job as a stepping stone, right? You want to think of it as your way to even possibly create a career. And I had to do that in my career journey. I had to figure out, um, what jobs can I get that can that I can get some skills that will be transferable. So once I'm ready to get into my career, that job that I want, that I'm ready for it. Again, your job, it might pay the bills, but a career is a journey. And I want you to look at it that way. A career is a journey. It's about continuously growing, learning, and striving for something bigger or even something better. So I want you to identify where you are at this moment. Where are you at this moment? Am I working in a job, or is this an actual career that I've made? Is this a career where I can continue to grow and develop in? Also, is this something that I can also help someone else get into? Do you feel like you're just clocking in and out? Or do you feel like you're making progress? Are you building skills that align with your long term goals? And is there a clear path for growth? Or does your role feel stagnant? I think you have to ask yourself those questions, because I do believe that for some individuals, again, you may be in a career that has become a job, because it's become those, just a routine task, and you're not growing anymore. Or you have to ask yourself these questions. Am I in a job that is a stepping stone for me to go into the career or go into the field that I want to go into? So take stock of where you are now, understanding whether you're in a job or on a career path journey. I believe this is the first step to making a shift, to making that stride for moving forward and even continuing to grow and be a better person. So, steps to shift from job to a career. I think the first thing you have to do is to shift your mindset. So many people don't have the opportunity to go to college and start working towards finding a career. But I think it doesn't matter where you are in your life. You have to start with shifting your mindset. I believe that if you have your mindset in the right place, you can accomplish anything. So start thinking long term. I want you to start thinking long term. What are some goals? What are some aspirations? What are some things that I want to achieve? Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe 5 years down the line. Ask yourself, what skills can I build in this role, in the current position that you're in, to take you to the next level? It's more than just going to work. It's about leveraging every opportunity for personal and professional growth. And so I think there's another step. So once you evaluate kind of where your mindset is, I want you to understand that in a career, you have to invest in continuous learning. Pursue certifications, attend workshops, seek mentorship, and also grow your network. I literally can speak to all of these because I believe that each of these things has really helped me to be where I am today. When we talk about certifications, there are some jobs that require certification. But if you're focusing on getting into a career, you want to look at what are some certifications that I may need, that I may need to look into. I believe that you can get your certification before you get your dream job. And the way that looks is start doing research. Start doing research and finding, what certification, what level of education do I need to start in this career or to get to where I want to get to. When we talk about attending workshops, getting into that career, I think, you also have to do some more research. What are some workshops I can get into? Are there career events? Are there networking events that I can go to participate in? Not every workshop will cost you. There are certain workshops that you could attend for free, but I think you have to do the research to find those opportunities. You also may want to seek for a mentor, right? Seek mentorship. Maybe you want to go to an HR manager, an HR leader, and say, hey, I would like for you to be a mentor to me, to help me to get into this industry, to get into this field. That's a great way, a great stepping stone for you to seek guidance and also receive additional resources, such as those workshops, such as, what certification you need to get into, right? And then I also look at again growing your network. One of the first things I did, I attended a workshop when I was in college about HR. One of the things that I learned was to create a LinkedIn profile. That was the first time that I ever learned about a professional social network. And I created that account. And believe it or not, I didn't have a whole lot of connections. But one thing that I did was I knew I wanted to get into HR. I searched human resources. And as the search did its thing, I selected people. And guess what I did? I started just connecting and following everybody that I could follow. And then as they started posting things and liking posts and sharing posts from their networks, I started connecting with those individuals. And believe it or not, today I have over 5,000 connections on LinkedIn for HR professionals or other individuals who said, hey, you know what? I want to follow this guy because he has great resources for me. So that's a tip. That's a tip for you that are trying to figure out, what are my first steps? Okay. So again, change your mindset, and you have to invest in continuous learning opportunities. And I believe these are some great ways you can do that. Your career should be like a savings account, I like to say. You want to keep depositing skills and knowledge that will eventually pay off later. Another thing that I discovered is that LinkedIn has LinkedIn Learning. And I utilized that resource, especially during the pandemic, because I wanted to continue to just learn certain skill sets, learn what was an HR manager, what's the difference between an HR manager and an HR business partner, what's the difference between, being an HR specialist, or what are some skill sets that I need, as well as I knew I wanted to get my certification. How can I learn about the certification, right? And so that was something that I did that helped me to deposit into my knowledge into learning skills that I needed that eventually paid off later. And I will tell you, it paid off later. Uh, the next thing is building a career strategy. Um, I often share with individuals you want to create a 5 year plan outlining your career goals. So, what does that look like from year one, year two, three, four, and five? And believe it or not, when individuals create this 5 year plan, most of the times they end up surpassing that goal. So create a 5 year plan, again, outlining just some career goals. I know for me, within the first 5 years, I wanted to uh, get my certification. And so I put that on paper and I planned for it. You also want to seek roles that align with your passion and your purpose, not just ones that offer immediate rewards. There are a lot of jobs out there where you can make great money. But what's the point of working a job that uh, that doesn't align with your passion or your purpose, that doesn't give you that internal reward that you're seeking? We know external rewards, immediate rewards, such as cash, bonuses, right? Those are great. But you want to find roles that align with your passion and purpose. And as you get into your career, you can speak to those roles as how it's helping you or has how it's prepared you to go into that career that you want to go into. You wouldn't want to start a road trip without a destination in mind, unless you're just one of those adventurous people. But nine times out of 10, you want to plan for your trip. And so you want to think about the same thing for your career. You want to think the same way. How can I plan my career? So know where you want to go. I think the next thing you want to do is to seek opportunities to grow. Once you get into that route, maybe you start off in an internship. You want to volunteer for new projects. Every new challenge is an opportunity to build skills and prove your value. That is so important. And again, I talked about on my first episode, one of the things that I did as I got into my HR career was asking for more work. And then I eventually learned, you know what? Instead of me asking for more work, let me create initiatives. Let me go to my leader and say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about incorporating that? And I think that's a great way of you becoming what I like to call a strategic thinker, in which it's very valuable if you're trying to grow in your career. And there are common obstacles that we tend to face when we try to get into a career. And sometimes it's because of our comfort zone. I met this lady at Tennessee Shrimp Conference where I won this award. And as we were talking and networking, she started sharing with me her career journey. And I don't know her age, maybe her late 50s. And she was sharing with me that she hadn't been in the HR industry but for 2 years. And I started asking her, so what did you do before? And how did you transition into HR? And she shared with me that she was a clerk in her organization and the pandemic hit. As the pandemic hit, she realized that her job was in jeopardy. As her job was in jeopardy, she started to think, what's next? And again, this is the difference between having a job versus a career. So, what she started to do was to look at her organization and look at job opportunities that aligned with her passion, her goals, and even just knowing your why. And she told me, she said, I love working with people. And that's why I was a clerk working at a front desk. in the front desk office because I just love interacting with people and helping people. So she realized that, my job may be obsolete. During the pandemic, she had to pivot and she had to make a decision. Did I want to find another job, or do I want to get into a career that aligns with my passion? And so she found a position within HR and have made her way into the HR industry and now have been in HR for going on 3 years now. And so that's just a prime example that you do not have to stay where you are. You can find a career and get into a career at any point, at any time. Growth doesn't always happen in the comfort zone. She had to realize that, you know what? I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and I'm going to get uncomfortable for a minute and I'm going to take a risk. And that's exactly what she did. So for you that are listening, start applying for new roles or learning new skills. Start networking with individuals and connecting with people that's going to help you move towards the career and the goals that you have for your future. Obstacle number 2, people often fear failure. The fear of failing can hold people back from taking on more responsibility and seeking new opportunities. I like to say, failure is just feedback. Use it to adjust your path, not as a reason to stop. Number 3, lack of direction. Many people don't know what they want in their careers. If you're unsure of your direction, start by exploring what excites you or what aligns with your values and seek guidance from mentors. One thing that I did, and again I talked about it before, was taking an assessment, taking a career assessment that can help you identify what you're passionate about and what job opportunities are out there that you may not have thought of before that you can look into and say, maybe this is something that I want to do. So as I conclude, I want there to be call to action. I want you to shift your mindset. I want you to invest in learning. And I want you to build a strategy that's going to help you to identify your first 5 years in that career and how you're going to grow in that career. And then I want you to seek opportunities. So the call to action today is to take the first step towards building a career by setting one clear, actionable goal today. For example, that goal may be, what's one skill or area you can focus on this month that will move you closer to your long-term goals? I want you to write it down. I want you to commit to it, and I want you to start today. Even if it's start by taking this assessment and going deeper into uh, opportunities that's going to help you to move into your passion, that's going to help you to move into your knowing your why. So do that for me. And if you have more questions about career, maybe you want a one-on-one conversation with me, send in a question where I can get your information and I can help you to go from a job into a career. Before we leave, I want to share an encouraging Bible verse from Matthews 6:34. And it's as simple as this. It says, therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. I believe that if you prepare today, you will be prepared for tomorrow. Quoted by Daniel Prince Tate. No, but for real, if you prepare today, you will be prepared for tomorrow. You have to start planning. You have to start doing something today. If you start working on today, it's going to help you to prepare for tomorrow. So be encouraged. Don't worry about tomorrow because it's going to take care of yourself if you start working today. Thank you so much for joining today and listening to the Transparent HR podcast. Again, I want to make sure that you are liking, you're sharing, you're subscribing to this podcast so you can receive updates regarding our next episodes. Again, thank you so much. And again, if you have any questions that you want to submit to the Transparent HR podcast, scenarios, maybe you're going through something in your career and you just need guidance, send it in so we can go over some of those questions and scenarios on the podcast. Also, send us a text message if you're listening on those podcast platforms like Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Send us a text message and I will be glad to receive those and hopefully have those questions on the show. Also, if you want to provide feedback, you can send us a text message as well. Thank you so much. And I hope that in today's episode, you received some insightful feedback regarding how to move from your job into a successful career so that you can reach your full potential. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.